from people.
It can, yeah, it can have an effect, and these sort of structural, well, yes, this is a short answer.
A single sentence. Short. Almost casual. But behind it lies a warning. Because when the leader of a G7 country admits that something can have an effect on investor confidence, what he's really saying is this. Something is shifting. Not just in politics. Not just in Alberta. But in the economic stability of an entire nation. Right now, in 2026, one question is quietly growing louder across Canada. What if Alberta doesn't want to stay? Alberta isn't just another province. It is the beating heart of Canada's energy economy. Oil, gas, pipelines, jobs, billions in revenue. For decades, it has powered not just homes, but the country's financial strength. And that's exactly why what's happening now matters so much. Because Alberta is moving toward a referendum, a vote that could redefine its future inside Canada. But here's the twist. The real impact isn't the vote itself. It's the uncertainty before it.
Tell me about how that preoccupies you and what you think you can do about it.
Well, I think
because it certainly has an effect on investor certainty. It has an effect on investor stability. I was out in Calgary a few weeks ago, and that was something that I heard from people.
Markets don't panic because of decisions. They panic because they don't know what's coming next. And that's exactly what a referendum introduces. A question mark. Will Alberta remain in Canada? Will regulations change? Will taxes shift? Will trade routes be disrupted? For investors, that question mark is dangerous. Because money flows where there is predictability. And stops where there is doubt. This is what economists call confidence risk. And once it enters a system, it spreads quietly. Projects get delayed. Deals get reconsidered. Expansion plans get paused. Not because things have changed. But because they might. At the center of this entire issue lies one thing. Energy. Prime Minister Mark Carney made it clear, the federal strategy is simple. Go straight to the core problem. Pipelines. Because pipelines aren't just infrastructure. They are economic lifelines. They determine how Alberta's oil reaches global markets. How competitive it is. And how profitable the province becomes. But this isn't just about pipelines anymore. It's about what comes with them. A working carbon market. Long-term energy transition plans. Investment in nuclear power. And cooperation between federal and provincial governments.
What do we do about it? We do our job. I mean, I think the first thing is we do our job. Our strategy with Alberta has been to go right to the heart of the issue, which is the pipeline. But what else comes with the pipeline? Pathways, a carbon market that works in Alberta because of structural issues, nuclear power, which they're also looking to build out. So having everything on the table, rolling up your sleeves, working on it, that's the way to address it. Showing that the Federation works, and it has the benefit of, it has a huge immediate payoff if we get it right. And we're making good progress with Alberta. There's more to be done, but we're making very.
But policies alone don't create movements. People do. And inside Alberta, frustration has been building for years. Many residents feel the province contributes more than it gets back. Federal decisions don't reflect local priorities. Economic pressures are increasing. Public services are under strain. Premier Danielle Smith has tapped into that frustration. By proposing a referendum, she's not just asking a question. She's giving a voice to a growing sentiment. But here's what often gets misunderstood. A referendum does not equal independence. Even if voters say yes, it would trigger complex constitutional negotiations, federal approval processes, legal challenges, economic restructuring. In other words, years, not months. So why does it matter so much now? Because markets don't wait for outcomes. They react to signals. And this is a very strong signal. From New York to London to Tokyo, global investors are watching Canada. And historically, they've seen it as stable, predictable, safe. A place where long-term investments make sense. But political uncertainty, even temporary, can shake that image. Think about it this way. If you're a CEO planning a $5 billion energy project, would you invest in a region that might redefine its national status? Or would you wait? Most choose to wait. And waiting slows everything down. This is the part most people don't see. There's no sudden crash. No dramatic collapse. Just a slow, quiet shift. Fewer new projects. Slower economic growth. Reduced job creation. All caused not by action, but by hesitation. That's why the federal government is pushing one key idea. The system works. That cooperation between Alberta and Canada brings real, immediate benefits. That staying together isn't just political, it's profitable. Because in the end, this isn't just about identity. It's about economics. So now, Canada finds itself in a delicate moment. Not a crisis. Not yet. But a test. A test of unity. A test of confidence. A test of how markets respond to uncertainty. And at the center of it all, one province. One question. One possibility that may never happen. But is already changing behavior. Because sometimes, the biggest economic shifts don't come from decisions. They come from doubts. And right now, in Alberta, that doubt is growing.